How's it going, everyone? So I'm going to walk you through the race email and a little bit of the map. I just want to kind of share everything that's going to be sent out, and hopefully all the information you guys need is going to be in this email. And if you have any other questions or concerns, let us know. We're going to be pretty busy setting everything up, so I hope this video is helpful. So let's dive in. The packet pickup and start finish is going to be at the west side. Lake McMurtry has an east and a west. We actually have an aid station at the East Pavilion. My first ever 50K was Lake McMurtry. I camped on the east side. I woke up the next morning and I couldn't find the race start because it is on the west side. So don't be like me when I first started. Make sure you go to the west side at the pavilion. For parking, parking is free. You are going to enter the park, go by the bait and tackle shop. You're going to stay to the left, and all the parking spots will be kind of down by the water. I will post a video so you guys can kind of see what that looks like of the last time I was down there on the west side. So let's dive into our aid stations. The aid stations are going to have the salty, the sweet. The aid stations will have people cooking food. And then for the aid stations, there's going to be heat and water. If we run out of heat, we'll have Gatorade. So there's always going to be like an electrolyte and then a water. Now the water stops are going to be water only. So if you need a lot more salt, make sure you pack your own electrolytes as you go along. Be looking at the list here on the screen. You do see the water stops. You see the Catfish Cove aid station. Now Catfish Cove is going to be no crew and no drop bags. The only traffic going through there should be the people working the aid station. So that means that you're going to have the start finish. You're going to see the start finish again around 8 miles, and then you're going to be at the East Pavilion around 21 miles for the 50K. So those will be your aid station, crew, and drop bag access if that's what you want to do. When you go to the starting line at the beginning of the race, there will be a tarp down for you to put your drop bags to go to the East Pavilion. So we will take those there for you. You just need to make sure that you put them there before the start of the 50K. So we don't need to get too much more into the water stops and aid stations because I'm going to kind of dive into that whenever I go through the map. Scrolling down starting times, of course that's very important. You want to make sure you get there before your starting time so you can get your bib, get ready to go, use the restroom. So make sure you have the starting times down for your race. Packet pickup is 6 a.m. and the drop bags go to the east. So pretty much covered all this. Make sure you kind of go through this a little more detailed because we are flying through it. It like here says label your drop bag, so make sure it has your name on it, because sometimes when you come into an aid station, if there's enough volunteers, they can say what's your name and they'll go get your drop bag for you, and you can just sit and eat and drink. And then of course for parking, like I said, parking's free. You just want to make sure if the parking spaces fill up when we're parking on the side of the road, you want to make sure you're off the road and you're not blocking any emergency vehicles. And then, of course, we have our trail series, which hopefully you guys are running all the outlaw races. Our virtuals, if you're watching this, you're not running a virtual. And aid station club takeover. If you have a running group, come out and work one of the aid stations. Or if you have a church or a Boy Scout group, if you have some kind of group that you're associated with, I think it'd be awesome to kind of share the trail community with other groups, and even if they're in the running community. So that information is in the email as well. So I believe I kind of flew through everything. There may be more in there when the email gets sent out. So let's dive into the map. So looking at the map, let me zoom out here. We are gonna start here where it says end. We're gonna go up, run around this loop, come down, around, run around this here, and then work our way back all the way around. So now we're gonna dive in a little bit closer so you guys can get a real good feel of what's gonna happen here. This here is the starting line. So when you do the start of the race, you are actually going to run down this trail here. This trail here is kind of by the water, and here is the orange trail. So the orange trail is this here, this gravel road, and then this bigger section up here. So when you take this down by the water, you're going to connect to the orange trail here. You're going to run up to this gravel road, and then you can take the gravel road right up here. And this is a water stop at 1.2 miles. And now if we zoom in here, you see there's a lot more trail here. We're not doing all of this orange trail up here. There's going to be signs here. So you're going to run down this. You're not going to go on the orange trail here. The signs will put you over here on a grass path. And you can kind of see this grass path follows along here, but we're going to jump off here. So make sure you follow the signs when you're up on the orange trail to make sure you don't get extra miles in. So once you get back on the orange trail, you run all through here, ziggy, zaggy, twisty, turny, all the way back. Once you get back to this water stop, you are now 6.52 miles in. Now I will say, if there's a 5K watching this video, The 5K will not do this loop up here. The 5K will kind of go down the gravel road, and then when they go down the gravel road, they'll turn around and come back. When you come back, you're coming down the gravel road, you came from this top section here, you're gonna go back on the bottom of the orange section. You're gonna keep following along. Now this is the trail entrance. Now the 12K is actually gonna come out right here and run down here to the start finish. So 12K, everybody else is gonna keep running down all the way to where they first got on the orange trail. So if you look here, if they run all the way here and all the way around, that is so much more distance than coming straight down to here. So for the 12K distance to be correct, we made this tiny little shortcut here. But all other distances, you'll run here, you're gonna run back, this is a campsite, you're gonna run back here, run along the water, and this here will bring you up a hill with the water behind you, right next to the aid station. That is the start finish line. So 5K, you'll finish here. Everyone else will run through the start finish line, and this is gonna be at 8.2 miles. Again, this is gonna be the aid station, this is gonna be your drop bag. So we're gonna keep pushing through here, and we're gonna run here, and this here is gonna be the blue trail. So this is kind of that out and then back traffic. So we're gonna keep going along here. So this really just follows along, all the way along the water. As we keep following these arrows here, keeps leading us along. When we zoom out a bit, just speed us up. And we'll zoom in here, and here you have Catfish Cove. So when you reach Catfish Cove, that is the aid station that is 11 miles out, and you will keep pushing along. Now, I believe that the 25K will go past Catfish Cove, and they will probably turn around and go back, I believe, right here. So they will go a little bit past Catfish Cove for the 25K. All the other distances, 50K, 100K, you're gonna go past that turnaround. So 25Ks, when you go past Catfish Cove, be on the lookout for that turnaround sign. All right, we're gonna zoom back out and keep cruising along. Now here, we have another water stop. So this was 11 miles. Now this dam is only 13. So these are kind of a water stop pretty close, but the dam gets hot, it gets windy, so it's nice to have a water stop at the bottom of the dam. So we're gonna run here, and this straight line here is the dam. You run all the way along the dam, and here we get to the red trail. So this is more kind of tight, twisty, turny trail, not as much as the orange. When you get here, you're gonna stay to the right, and when you come back, you'll be coming back on this side right here. So we're gonna stay up here and follow all the way around. We're still following this trail here, and here is the water stop. At this section here, where these are really close together, the water stop's actually in between. I kind of just marked it for the distances. So 15.8, you're gonna hit that water stop, and then on the way back, that is gonna be at 22. So we're gonna keep following down all the way around this red trail. Let me zoom out a little bit for us here. So you kind of see the red trail kind of zigs and zags all the way to this point right here. This is a very, very tight intersection. So right here, the red trail just kind of goes and flows right here. This is a very sharp turn. This is not part, this is a connecting trail. So this is a very sharp turn. We're gonna turn off the red trail, run across Burris Road, and then do the yellow. You're on the yellow. There's gonna be signs here because you see the trail goes in other directions. You're gonna come around, you're gonna do this loop here, go all the way down by the water, come back around, and you're gonna run all the way back down, out and back traffic here, until you get back to that intersection. So at the red, you go off to the right, run that loop, come back on, and now you're back on the red trail. Back on the red trail running by the disc golf course. Keep going down the red trail and you'll get to the East Pavilion aid station, 21.5 miles. So this is where you can have your drop bag, you can have your crew, and this will be an aid station. So at this point, you'll get everything you need. You'll continue back on the red trail doing all the other side of it down here that you didn't do before. Hit that aid station that we talked about earlier at 22.8 miles, and we will just keep on continuing down to this intersection here. This is where we did the dam, went off, and now we're coming back to that. So we're just gonna go back. We did the out, we're gonna come all the way back. We're running back along the dam. Once you run along the dam, you'll see here, you're at 25.4 miles, and you're just gonna keep going because we gotta get all the way to start finish line, power through the dam, all the way over to Catfish Cove. 27.5 miles, you're almost there, 50Kers. Once you get through Catfish Cove, you keep powering around the water, and we'll zoom in here. This is the trailhead for blue. Now, we already came here, but I'm just going to a little more detail going back. There's actually a camper here. There's a little store here. There's the trailhead here. So you're running diagonally across the road to this like power line section that takes you to the start finish. So you'll be doing that going out, and you're also going to do that coming back. So coming back to the start finish line, you're actually coming this way to cross the finish line, and that'll be the finish for the 50K. And then of course 100Kers, you get to do that all over again. So hopefully this is helpful. All these maps are available to download. You can download them to your phone. You can export GPX. Let me see if I can slide this over here. Oh, look, I can. So here, if I click this drop down on a computer, there's all these different ways that I can export this that works for whatever watch you have, or just put it on your computer. So hopefully this video is helpful. I'm going to get packed up because I'm going to be camping out there. I got some trail to mark tomorrow when I get off work, and I can't wait to see everyone out there. Let me know in the comments if anything needs to be included in videos like these, because this is the first time I've ever done a video like this, and I want to have these as often as possible and have them be as helpful as possible. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you guys out there this weekend.